Moving on to 1-2-3 then this weekend. A couple of kind of weird games that it must be one of those weeks where they just decide to go all in the main event when they pick their TV games. But look, they're interesting in their own way. This is where we can pick 3 scores in the games at the weekend, select the games at the weekend on Ladbrokes.com or on the Ladbrokes app. Play it for absolutely free. You pick the scores. If you get one right, one score line completely correct, you get a €1 free bet. If you get 2, you get a €5 free bet. And if you get all 3, you win €100 cash. Kevin, as he was saying, was let down a little bit by Arsenal last week. He's going to have another go here at the games this weekend, starting on Saturday night with Brighton and Leeds. Kevin, Brighton had been on good form. They lost to Villa at the weekend, but Leeds just continuing to struggle. They're in 17th. You feel like they're going to kind of like kick out of it and that they're on the verge of good form, but you know, every week they just seem to get a draw or a 1-goal loss, you know?
Yeah, they were okay in the first half against Spurs. This is Spurs' new manager. This probably suffered with that. And Brighton the same. You know, new manager at Villa, and they get that bounce. Brighton come up against them. I'm going to go with a draw in this one, Mick. I think Leeds will get out of that situation. It's an easy one, I think, to call for a draw in this one. Both teams, I'd say, would be happy enough with a draw as well. So, yeah, I go for a score draw, Nick, 1 apiece.
1-1. That's what I have too, not that matters. But I think Brighton had before the Villa match, they'd been unbeaten in 6, and I think they'd drawn 5 of those games. So they like a draw. Brentford versus Everton then on Sunday afternoon. Brentford in a cracker of a 3-3 draw last weekend. Everton just continuing to struggle, just well beaten again at the weekend. But you would have expected that. These are the results they have to, like, if Benitez is going to hang on, he's got to start beating likes of Brentford pretty quickly.
Yeah, understandable to get beat by Man City, I suppose. But he's under pressure, and he's been under pressure from day one after managing Liverpool. A lot of people still, haven't forgiven him for that, I suppose, or Everton fans haven't taken him because of that. So it just adds a bit more pressure, less patience, I suppose, for him to try to get things right. So yeah, in this one, I'm trying to see what did I have down. I was going to go for a Brentford home win. I think it just doesn't look happy at Everton. Doesn't look right. I'm going to go for Brentford. Are impressive at home. Good game against Newcastle, actually. Enjoyable anyway. They probably wouldn't be happy conceding 3 goals, but for the neutral, I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win.
There you go, Brentford to beat Everton 2-1 to get Rafa the sack and Pochettino to take over at Goodison before United have even approached them. Chelsea United then 4:30 Sunday. Yes. This is United. Just like kind of bear in mind it's Solskjaer, it's post Solskjaer, but we're talking about a big 3 there a few minutes ago, and we've seen what's happened. Liverpool obviously beat them 5-0 at Old Trafford. City, if anything, were even more dominant against United than Liverpool were, and now they face Chelsea. You know, it's they haven't looked like they can live with the top team so far. But is that Michael Carrick bounce going to be enough at Stamford Bridge?
Oh, listen, I'm just a sucker into Man United. The romanticism of it, I can't say that they're going to. I'm going to go for a great game, 2-2 draw.
Wow.
Chelsea missing Kante as well. Just things turn in a season, and this is the point where it turns. So, Man United getting something at Chelsea, what result that'd be for them?
I
don't know. Listen, a bit confident. Like, they'd have to have confidence in that Villarreal game, that second half. It can't be any lower than it was beforehand. They got through that game, got a win. As we said, like Sancho getting off the score sheet and Fernandes playing well, just little things. So, I'll go for a draw, 2-1.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. The other side of that is Romelu Lukaku revenge game, 3-0 to Chelsea, and United proved they still can't live with the top teams.
Very possible. Yeah, very possible.
That's two sides of the same coin.
United are missing their 2 centre halves as well, or that's probably not a bad thing. It's going to be Bally and Lindelof. Brown's obviously injured and Maguire suspended. So listen, it's not like so they haven't been great checks and back anyway, so it should be no difference.
Yeah, and is he back or he was?
I don't know, but I hope not. So
that'll be, it could be a back four: Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bailly,
yeah.
and Telles.
Telles delivery. I think Telles is a better player. I know I've been saying this on here for a long time. I think Telles is a better player, and Shaw's form this season has been atrocious. So if he is back, he should be on the bench, in my opinion. But Telles looked decent enough last night, I thought.
Dawned on me last night as well that David De Gea has been back in form in a terrible team basically all season, and we talked a lot about him when he wasn't doing it, and those conversations don't happen when somebody kind of gets their form back and becomes, one of United's biggest, most important players again. It is kind of unfair the way it works sometimes when we talk about these things. We kind of focus on the negative.
Yeah, he saved in the start of the second half was just unbelievable. And that's the little thing again, talking about that's either 1-0 down and heads down and game over, or he makes that save and they go up and score not long afterwards. So he's he's in the top 4 or 5 highest paid players in the Premier League. So he'd want to be playing well, and Man United have 4 of the top 5 highest paid players in the Premier League. So you'd expect a few to be able to show a bit of form at some stage. But yeah, listen, when he gets paid or doesn't get paid, he used to play well, and he did. And he's saving penalties as well, Nick.
Yeah,
saved one in how many years, and then saves 2 last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So nice that he found that touch after a long old gap. Okay, so the 4 of the top 5 paid Premier League players in our players in the Premier League should at least get you a 2-all draw in Stamford Bridge, says Kevin Doyle. So his 1-2 free picks on Ladbrokes.com or on the app right now is Brighton 1, Leeds 1 this weekend, Brentford 2, Everton 1, was it? Yeah, and Chelsea 2, United 2. So that should be fun. You can play yourself right now on Ladbrokes.com. Play for free. Pick your 3 scores. If you get 1 right, you get a €1 free bet. If you get 2, you get a €5 free bet. And if you get all 3, you win €100 cash. Kevin, thanks a million for that, and enjoy the games of the weekend. Enjoy Chelsea United.
Cheers, mate. You too.
Thanks a million to Kevin. If you missed yesterday's show with Stephen Ferris, we looked ahead to the URC, talked a little bit about Ireland's November campaign as well. You can listen back to that on the podcast or watch it on YouTube, wherever you might find our stuff. If you're having a bet on the football, on the rugby, anything else at all, please always gamble responsibly. Visit dunlewy.net for more information. We'll be back with you next week.